Eala, Rafael Nadal feature in Australian Open video. Pair share insights while building anticipation for the season's first Grand Slam. Dubai, Filipino tennis prodigy Eala continues to make steady strides on the global stage, further underlining her rising stature in the sport. Her growing profile was highlighted this week when she appeared alongside tennis icon Rafael Nadal in a joint video released ahead of the Australian Open, as the pair shared insights while building anticipation for the season's first Grand Slam. The 22-time Grand Slam champion partnered with one of the most prominent graduates of his academy, the 20-year-old Eala, in an emotional exchange that contrasted Nadal's storied history at the Australian Open, where he has claimed 2 titles and made 19 appearances, with Eala's excitement as she prepares for her main draw debut at the tournament. "It's always been a very special and important moment because it's the beginning of the season," said the former world number 1. "The Australian Open has always been ready to make positive changes for our sport. You need to move differently from everyone else. It's important to have your own personality, and then you can find your style." Eala, a former junior world number 1, reflected on her earlier experiences at Melbourne Park, where she captured the junior doubles crown in 2020. "What makes it special for me is the energy of the people. Everyone seems to have so much fun, and there's so much diversity," she said. Echoing Nadal's thoughts, Eala added, "Moving differently means being brave, doing things your own way, and not being afraid to be authentic. I've turned movement into one of my strengths and found ways to transform certain weaknesses into advantages." When dreams practice beside legends. A creative feature on Eala and Rafael Nadal at the Australian Open. The Australian sun has a way of revealing truths. It exposes effort in sweat, ambition in narrowed eyes, and destiny in the quiet moments between rallies. In a short but powerful Australian Open video, 2 figures share the same frame: Rafael Nadal, a titan of tennis whose legacy is etched into history, and Eala, a young Filipina carving her name into the future. The video is brief, but its meaning lingers far longer than the final shot. It is not merely a meeting of generations, it is a conversation between past mastery and emerging promise. Rafael Nadal moves with familiarity through the courts of Melbourne Park. Every step, every swing, carries the weight of experience. He has been here before, many times, battling injuries, opponents, expectations, and himself. His presence alone commands respect, as if the court remembers him. For Nadal, the Australian Open is not just a tournament, it is a chapter of his life story, written in perseverance and pain, triumph and humility. Across the net, or perhaps just a few courts away, Eala exists in a different chapter of the same book. She is younger, lighter in step, her racket carried with both confidence and reverence. The video captures her not as a wide-eyed admirer, but as a professional in progress, focused, disciplined, hungry. She does not look at Nadal as a distant idol. She looks at him as proof. Proof that greatness is built, not gifted. Eala's journey to this moment is itself a quiet revolution. From the Philippines, a country where basketball courts far outnumber tennis courts, she has risen through dedication, sacrifice, and belief. The Australian Open video subtly acknowledges this. It does not announce her achievements loudly, instead, it allows her presence to speak. A calm expression, a measured breath, a young athlete standing on one of the sport's grandest stages. And then there is Nadal. In the video, he is not portrayed as untouchable. He stretches. He trains. He listens. The legend is humanized. This is crucial, because legends can sometimes feel unreachable, frozen in highlight reels. But here, Nadal is flesh and effort, someone who still works, still prepares, still respects the process. For a young player like Eala, that image is perhaps the most powerful lesson of all. Greatness never stops learning. There is something poetic in their shared space. Nadal, a product of the famed Spanish tennis system and the Rafa Nadal Academy, Eala, one of the Academy's brightest success stories. Teacher and student are not formally introduced in the video, yet their connection hums beneath the surface. The Academy is not just a training ground, it is a philosophy, discipline, humility, resilience. respect for the game. Those values are visible in both. When Eala swings her racket, there is intent. Not reckless power, but thoughtful construction. When Nadal hits, it is the same, different bodies, different eras, but a shared understanding of tennis as something earned point by point. The video does not need dialogue. The language is movement, rhythm, repetition. In one subtle sequence, the camera lingers just long enough to suggest parallel journeys. Nadal, once a teenage prodigy himself, knows what it means to be young on a massive stage. Eala, stepping into professional relevance, understands that talent is only the beginning. The Australian Open is not forgiving. It tests not just skill, but belief. And belief is what connects them. For Nadal, belief carried him through injuries that threatened to end everything. For Eala, belief carried her across oceans, cultures, and expectations. The video becomes a bridge between continents, generations, and dreams. Spain and the Philippines. Legend and rising star. What was and what could be. The Australian Open has always been known as the happy slam, but happiness here is earned. It is born from long rallies under relentless heat, from early mornings and late nights. The video captures this essence quietly. No dramatic music overpowering the moment. No exaggerated narration. Just tennis and two people who respect it deeply. Perhaps the most striking element is what is not shown. There is no direct interaction staged for effect. No forced handshake or symbolic gesture. And that restraint makes the feature stronger. It trusts the audience to understand the significance. It allows Eala to exist not in Nadal's shadow, but in the same light. This is important. Too often, young athletes are framed only in comparison to legends. But this video suggests something more hopeful, that the future does not replace the past, it learns from it. Nadal's presence does not overshadow Eala. It amplifies her. It says, this is where you can belong if you keep going. In the final moments, as the camera pulls back, Melbourne Park feels larger than ever. The courts stretch out like open pages, waiting to be written on. Nadal's story is already legendary, filled with chapters of glory and grit. Eala's story is still unfolding, its pages crisp, its ending unwritten. And somewhere between those stories lies the heart of tennis itself. A sport that rewards patience, punishes shortcuts, and honors those who love it enough to endure. The Australian Open video is not just a feature. It is a quiet promise that dreams trained well can stand beside legends. That the next chapter is already warming up.